Well, I believe just that. Average client communication, yes, it is costing you business. Okay, let's back up for a second. Don't shoot the messenger. My name is Jason Wrights. I'm the president of Speak with People, and I'm here to be your guide throughout the course of this masterclass, this client communication masterclass series. Now, you may have the playbook in front of you. You may have downloaded just a PDF and you printed it out and you're going to get ready to go working through it. You may have the printed version. And so you may have gotten it at a conference. You may have ordered it on your own. Whatever the process is, um, each of the modules in this course, you're able to download the worksheets that we're going to be able to go through. And it's going to be really helpful for you to get the playbook in front of you. So make sure that you have it. So whether you can go push pause now and go print the PDF version or grab the actual printed version. But I really do believe that average communication is costing you. And it's costing you more than just this word business, okay? I mean, let's let's just lay it all on the table, okay? Because here's the reality. I'm here to be your guide, but I also want to challenge the heck out of you because you are a wealth expert and I want to help you be a people expert. And you may have been doing your job for 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, but the reality is each of us, myself included, we need a good challenge at times. We need somebody to come along and say, "Hey, you're just doing status quo. It's time to shake up your business because average client communication is costing you." And here's all the things it's costing you. It's costing you trust. That's so much of this first module is all about is just you've got to think about uh, equating your communication to trust. The less you communicate, the how infrequent you communicate, how unhealthy you communicate, whether you don't listen or you just dump information or you just pacify your clients. Guess what? You're breaking trust. You're losing trust. You're dumping trust. And trust, it's the most amazing uh, tool that you want with your clients. Everything revolves around trust. And so, average client communication is costing you trust. It's also costing you influence, and you want influence. Part of speaking with your client and not at them, part of communicating in just an exceptional way is for you to be able to build influence. Leadership is influence. Everything rises and falls on influence. That's according to Dr. John C. Maxwell. If you've read any of his books, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, you'll be able to figure that out. And you want to build influence in your community, in your neighborhood, with your little leagues, with your chamber of commerce, with all the different city events that's going on. You want to be the first call. And when you have great amount of influence, they call you first. And that's what happens when you have great client communication. Average client communication costs you trust, costs you influence, costs you referrals. Oh my goodness. Some of us are, we sit around wondering, how come I do such a great job for my clients, but why aren't they telling, their friends and family? Why aren't they telling anybody? Why is my phone not ringing? Maybe you've been there. I've been there. The reality is maybe you haven't built the trust, you have the influence to get that referral flywheel going. And so in this course, in this playbook, that's really what it's about in a nutshell. We want to give you the skills and the tools that you need to build deep levels of trust, to amplify your influence so you get that referral flywheel going. So it builds your business. Because in the end of the day, average client communication is costing you business. Yes, your book of business will shrink over time. And I don't know many business plans that have that as their goal. And so the course, uh, throughout the course of this playbook and this video course, this training that you're watching, we want to be able to cover that. And the reality is that even if you're crushing it month after month, there's probably some areas you could do to improve. Maybe you've just plateaued and now you're looking for some ways to shake things up. And so here's what I do know. If you do the work, if you go through the playbook, and there are self exercises, there are assessments, There are things where you're going to need to get dirty. This is a pen and paper. Write it out. Craft these kind of things. This is so incredibly important. And so at the very outset of this, I want you to go ahead and I want you to be able to find the PDF that looks like this. And I'm just going to put them up on the screen so you can see them. But it's down below in the module. You can actually print this out and download it. In your book, you can find it as well in the very, very beginning. But the reality is you got to be able to define what the client communication growth that you really want. And so under each prompt, you've got to put the answers that you actually believe. Like what are your long-term, short-term, midterm goals for your business? Nobody sets out in this journey to just be average. And so wouldn't it be great to be able to set some of those goals so you can come back to them each week or each month or each quarter? So look at this first growth goal. So declare your growth. So here's the goals of growth, G in growth. What specific business outcomes do you want in the next 90 days? Okay, 90 days. What would it be like in 90 days to experience 5 new referrals or 5 new clients, whatever the number is? Maybe you want to experience, you want to be able to get the attention of your investment manager or your program manager or somebody higher up. Put it down, write down your goals. Be very, very specific. Then your referrals. Okay, let's go to here. Who are the 3 to 5 clients you want to turn into active referrers? And what do you need to change in your communication to make that happen? Oh my goodness. See, this puts right back on us. I can already think of the things that I know I need to change in some of my interaction with my clients. And I'm going to let you know more about that because I'm going to try to be as vulnerable as I can because I want to be able to help you realize, hey, there are moments that we have to acknowledge our weaknesses so we can make them our strengths. Then we go to O. What are the obstacles? Ooh, this is a tough one, right? Like we all have these. But what are the habits, excuses, patterns in your current approach that are holding back your growth? Okay, this is where real change starts. So let's just be honest with it. Are you a horrible listener? Are you an interrupter? Do you just never communicate with your clients, or do they only get the spit out the printer birthday card and you don't even sign it? It just says from the team. Write down the obstacles. Write down the obstacles. And so get very clear on them. Be very vulnerable. Then the wins. So if you fully implemented this playbook, what would winning look like for you by the end of the quarter? Again, we're trying to get to like the heart of exactly where you want to be. And then your clients. Which clients or teams don't fully trust you yet? And how will you rebuild that trust through better conversations? I know that's a difficult question, but I bet there are some out there that you can probably already identify and you already know. And then habits. What consistent communication habits, daily, weekly, monthly, will you commit to grow your business, not just your skills? Like right in the very beginning, I mean, we're just hitting it hard. We're hitting it hard at the very beginning because this is how much I want you to be able to succeed. This is how much I want you to be able to succeed. And that's the powerful thing that will happen. Here's the reality. And as you're going through the material in the playbook, you're going to get through each chapter, and each chapter builds on top of each other. And for those of you investment managers or program managers or regional vice presidents or wholesalers or conference planners, if you're going through this or you see this kind of stuff, all of these can be done in a workshop together. All of these can be done in a 10-week virtual training course or individually. You can go through each of these. And so here's the reality at the very outset. I want you to understand is that communication is your hidden advantage. Is your hidden advantage. Average communication makes you invisible. Invisible. And none of your clients want you to be invisible. Trust me. They don't want you to be. They want you to be a financial professional who's both wealth expert and people expert. I mean, that's what they want. They want to know you, that you hear them, that you see them, that you care for them, that they are known by you. This is what you want to get to because that will keep the flywheel, the referral flywheel going and going and going and going. And that's the powerful thing about it. And so that's what we want to be able to do. That's what we want to be able to accomplish. And so, in order to do that, some of these exercises are very important. They're just very important. Now, it's in your introduction, but here's the reality right in the beginning. And through the research, we see that the clients who are only communicated with every once 4 to 6 months, once 4 to 6 months. The reality is they feel, very 22% of them, 22% feel comfortable with you as their financial advisor, especially if there's a recession. So once every 4 to 6 months, only 22% of them feel like you're the person to be able to guide their retirement, guide their investments, guide their portfolio. Like that's a low number, right? But you just increase that up. You just increase that up to uh, once a month, and it's absolutely amazing what happens. The swing is incredible, 71%, 71%. And so if they get some type of communication from you, whether it could be just a mass email, whether it's a handwritten card in the mail, whether it's a text, it swings up so incredibly much to 71%. Now are like, okay, I'm comfortable. I trust you. This is going to be incredible. I mean, that's a 50-point swing just by showing up. Like, who wouldn't want that? Who's ready for that? And here's the even bigger truth: effective communication impacts the bottom line. If average communication really affects it, effective communication, now it's a whole different ball game. And so just be honest with yourself. Like, how often right now? I am in a training in January with Cetera, and I'm in Minnesota. Oof, Minneapolis. It was freezing. And we're in the back room of this restaurant, and it's a day-long event, and we're going through everything, and I'm going through this exact material. One of the advisors raised their hands, and he says, I've got 247 clients. There's no way I can keep them all in the know. No way I can communicate with them all. Like, he was already shut down. Now, one of the things we'll talk a lot about throughout this entire course is you got to change your mindset. Like, you got to change your mindset. There can't be any more, I can't do this. That's not going to work. This isn't going to happen. I'm not good at that. You got to change your mindset. Then in July of this year, a couple months ago, I am in front of a group of advisors in Tampa for Suncoast Credit Union. And an advisor raised a hand and says, I have 900 clients. How the heck am I supposed to keep any type of frequent communication? Well, the good answer is later in the playbook, we're going to talk about that and building out a client communication strategy that affects not just your clients with the highest assets under management, but all the way down. We're going to be able to create a plan for them. But here's the bigger point through all of this is most advisors, most of us, financial professionals, we just haven't mastered this effective client communication yet. And so if you just simply learn how to show up, if you learn the importance of communication and communicating the absolutely right way, you lead with clarity, you lead with empathy, you're going to grow your business one meaningful conversation at a time. I love this quote by the great Jim.R.O.W.T.H. If you just communicate, you can get by. But if you communicate skillfully, you can work miracles. Like, that's it. And that just gets me excited about the power of this. Gets me excited about the power of this because incredible things can happen. And so, how about you? Like, what are some of the areas, that I bet they're already coming to mind and what happens? And what we'll talk about a lot throughout this course is the difference between speaking with our clients and speaking at our clients. Speaking with our clients and speaking at our clients. And when our communication is infrequent, when it's unhealthy, when it's all product driven, when it's void of stories, when there's no story catching happening, when we just sit down and we spit out all the information, we're speaking at our clients. And the reality is we lose them. We lose them. Yes, you may have the technical knowledge of the best. Your wealth knowledge may be through the roof. But if you don't have any people, soft skills, you're going to fail. Like you may be able to win in the short term by forcing some people to sign with you, by using some catchy, salesy one-liners. But the reality is, if you learn this stuff over time, last year I spoke for the Truist Elite Performer Summit, and it was 300 of their top advisors, incredible room, lots of energy, lots of learning. And I uh, got to meet their head of national sales, Rob Miles. I had him on my podcast. Uh, Great episode on listening to your clients. But he said this, and it stuck with me. He said, "We're in a noble business. It's an honor to build trust with our clients and help them succeed." We can't ever forget that. We're in a noble business. And you and I, we get to build trust with clients. And if we're obsessed with their success, look out. If we wake up each day trying to help them, care for them in a way that they never even imagined, look out. Your book of business is going to grow beyond anything that you could possibly imagine because powerful things happen. Even in a world of AI and automation and ChatGPT, the best professionals continually improve their communication skills. And that's why this playbook exists, because none of us are fully there. And so each chapter gives you more and more skills to be able to build upon. And if you're doing this on your own or you're doing this as a team, thank you. You're here because you want to be that kind of advisor. You want to be the kind of advisor who is not just excellent in their communication so they can get referrals, but you're the kind of advisor who truly wants to see their clients succeed. And you want to help them get to the life that they dream of. Now, this playbook, we're going to do a bunch of things. I'll go over them. One, we're going to expose and eliminate some of the toxic communication that you may have right now. And you're probably already like, Jason, my client communication is great. Well, we're going to expose some of it through some of the assessments. It's okay. We all have it, but we've got to be able to do that. Then we're going to unlock your unique voice. And we're going to take this word voice. It's an acronym, VOICE. And the reality is each of us speak to our clients differently. We all use a different voice when we speak to our clients. And you're going to learn what your voice is because sometimes you try to be empathetic and you're not empathetic. And sometimes you try to be visionary and you're not. You may have more of a clarity voice or a more of an insight voice. And so we got to be able to do that. Then we're going to learn how to turn surface level meetings into referral generating relationships. We're going to learn the spark method of meetings. Then we're going to learn how to communicate across generations. Many of us are dealing with boomers or Gen X, or maybe you're a Gen Z or a millennial advisor and you're trying to learn how to communicate to those older generations, or you're the older generation. We've got to learn how to do that. Then we're going to build a strategic communication rhythm. So you're doing that frequent communication. And throughout the playbook, throughout this course, you'll hear real stories. You're going to be challenged to do the work. This is not just something you just dial in. Like do the work, put it on your calendar. Once a week, go through a chapter from beginning to end. And then reflect on it, and then recalibrate, and then grow. And here's what you got to know. I am for you every step of the journey. And I'm extremely available to you. People are shocked by this, but in the playbook, I actually put my email. I'll give it to you now, jason@speakwithpeople.com. Very easy to remember. Jason, Jason, @speakwithpeople.com. And in the playbook, you can also scan the LinkedIn to go find me on LinkedIn right now. You can see down below, you can click on it. And then my phone number is down there as well. If you're in the Client Communication Masterclass series, and you're not using the playbook, all of the information is in your dashboard. If you're using both, it's all in both, so you're good to go. But seriously, take time right now. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a personal message. Hey, I'm going through the masterclass. Hey, I'm going through the playbook. Text me and just be like, hey, I'm John from North Dakota. I got my hands on the playbook. Man, let's work together. Kimberly, tell me where you're from. Tell me, what you're excited about on this journey, because you've done the hard work of the tests. You've done all of the wealth knowledge and study. Now let's become a people expert. Let's do the other side of it. And there's also information in the playbook about the Speak with Your Client podcast series that we did on the Speak with People podcast. And 18 episodes, some of the best. I mean, financial minds, sales minds, like the great Jeb Blunt did one from salesgravy.com. And you can scan the QR codes. Everything is right in there. But before we leave this module, I also want to show you one other PDF. And this PDF is the, nope, not that PDF. Not that PDF. See, we're learning as we go. This is the client communication audit. And I hope you'll take a few minutes and just go through this right now. And so this just gets brutally honest about where you're at with your communication. So you're going to answer questions. How many active clients are in your book of business? How many of those clients did you speak with personally in the last 30 days? How many have gone 90 plus days without hearing from you? What percentage of clients receive consistent monthly communication? What percentage of clients receive quarterly? How many have received a handwritten birthday card from you last year? How many personal one-on-one sit downs in person or Zoom have you had in the last 6 months? These are tough questions. But you don't have to go through and count every single one from your calendar, but do some guesstimate work that gets to the heart of it, so it gets your brain thinking about it. And then section 2, here's the self-assessment. I follow a consistent communication rhythm with every client. My clients feel heard, not rushed. I adapt my communication to each client's personality and preferences. I avoid technical jargon, speak with clarity. I listen more than I talk. I proactively reach out, even when there's nothing to sell. My communication builds trust, not just info. And then you add up and you go to the tally here, and then you look at your score and you can see, okay, like these are the areas that I need help with. These are, exactly where you're at. And so then do some reflection. Where did you score the lowest and why? What one habit, if you improved it, would immediately grow your business? What are the top 10 clients would have to say about it? And then write your communication goal for the next 30 days. Write your communication goal for the next 30 days. These are powerful things that you're going to be able to do and be able to feel and sense while you're going through this. And so this can be really raw. Like you can already tell, like, this is not a highly edited and produced video series. Why? Because I'm going through this material with you and I want this to feel like, hey, we're in this together. So this is really exciting. Okay, so a couple of last things. One, uh, print this stuff out. If you don't have the printed version of the playbook, when you bought the PDF version, print it out, put it in a 3-hole binder, bam. If you still don't have the playbook, make sure you print out the assessments at the bottom of your dashboard if you're in the Client Communication Masterclass series. If you're joining us on YouTube, I would highly recommend going and purchasing the course or purchasing the playbook so you have your own, because it's just a powerful opportunity for you to be able to have. And before we leave, I just want to tell you about a brand new resource for Speak with People, and it's Insights. And this is our client growth, referral, and retention report. This is a monthly paid subscription that you'll come to your email twice a month, and you're going to get incredible articles that just point right away to some areas where you can desperately improve, or you can add something to your client communication, or you can look at the research to say, okay, I've been doing that. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to start doing this. Okay. Again, I'm with you the entire journey. I cannot wait. Don't just get through the first video and then that's it. Go through every video, go through every chapter of the playbook. And for Pete's sakes, email me, send me a text, connect with me on LinkedIn. We are in this together, and I absolutely can't wait to see how you're going to succeed. Because just as you need to be obsessed with your client's success, I am obsessed with your success. However I can help you, I am here. And so let's get ready. Get ready for the second video, and let's go to it. We'll see you there.